before we start this video, I want to thank you guys because today is a big day. Or rather, 2 days ago was a big day. Because we just hit 2,000 subscribers. Another milestone has already been reached. And it was all because of you guys. You guys made it happen. And I owe you one for that. Because it means a lot when you have thousands of people who support you. So thank you guys so much for helping me achieve this milestone. And as a special, I will be doing a Q&A stream along with hosting an online whiteboard on this website called Whiteboard Fox. It is pretty straightforward. You can just click the link and start drawing almost immediately without having to sign in. Then you guys can go absolutely nuts. You can hang out, you can mess around. It'll be pretty fun. Just keep 16 plus drawings and hateful art away and then you'll be good. You'll be good, bro. And also, just a quick warning for you guys, this video contains spoilers for pretty much the entire Arc 1. And also right now, I am sick. So if my voice does sound a bit hoarse, then yeah, you know why. Alright, with that being said, let's get on to the video. Hey guys, it's Jasper here. We're finally here at the finish line for Arc 1. Took me long enough. It took me long enough to get here. We now know who's the true queen of the Sandwings. And it certainly is a good one. Trustworthy one. That I'm 100% sure wouldn't hang on to the Eye of Onyx even when they're dead, if you know what I mean. Yeah, well, maybe not 100% if I'm being realistic. But like, you get the point. Also, this book was literally the absolute hardest to read. Not because of the plot, but because of the hard copy itself. Look at this abominable mess, bro. The printer obviously gave up on this. Some sentences have jumbled words and nearly all the chapters end in jumbled words, so I wouldn't know how they connect. Like, how the frick did Sunny and Tsunami teleport from the beach to the rainforest, man? So yeah, what I'm trying to say is, if you want to criticize me in the comments saying, hey, you missed this important detail, oh, you missed that important detail, then I will take it as a compliment, you know? I actually appreciate that. So without further ado, let's get started with today's talk about Book 5, The Brightest Night. Alright, now I've always wondered who was the main antagonist of this novel, or at least the main antagonist of Arc 1. I used to think Wicked Morrisier was the one, but then he died and then later, in the ending, I finally found exactly who started this whole damn war in the first place. So the case has already been closed. At the very start of this book, I already found a clue, a very good clue at that. But unbelievably, I took it for granted and decided not to actually contemplate it, you know what I'm saying? So looking back, I was incredibly stupid. So the prologue of this book is set before the war, when Queen Oasis was still alive. She wanted Blister to go wake Burn up to help her fight the scavengers who robbed the treasure rooms. But instead, as she flew away, Blister went back to the treasure rooms instead of waking Burn up. It was fairly obvious that Blister was the one who took most of the treasure, and was responsible for the Queen's death. Heck, if Blister didn't do that, there wouldn't be a war that would go on for 20 years. There wouldn't be heaps of death. There wouldn't be violence. Kestra would have lived. Everything would have been alright. So the main antagonist of this whole arc is Blister. It's not as difficult as I thought to break down, if I have to be honest. Also, this is something I just realized when I was writing the script for this video. I was dumbfounded, bro, to find that some lines of the prophecy did actually happen. Specifically the one that says, of 3 queens of Blister and Blaze and Burn, 2 shall die and 1 shall learn. Rather astonishingly, 2 did die, and 1 lived, and I'm happy that Blaze was the one to live. Because like, come on, out of all 3 sisters, Blaze is the friendliest. I mean, I know she's stupid and naive, and she obviously doesn't know how to defend herself, which is an important skill, especially during times of war. But like, at least she has no evil intentions, you know what I'm saying? She's the type who would throw an all-night party in the middle of a war. She's way more fun than the other 2 sisters. You know, some of y'all may not believe this, but there are some good sides to the war. Besides the fact that a multitude of dragons have died fighting. But bear in mind, this is only my opinion. If this war didn't happen, then the entire Nightwing tribe wouldn't have a proper home. It would all die from the big eruption that killed Morrisier. Because as we know, they lived on a volcanic island, where they could be incinerated by an eruption at any given time, if it wasn't for Starflight to save them. If the war didn't happen, then Starflight wouldn't even be there. There would be no such thing as a Dragoness of Destiny, or the Talents of Peace. And as cool as the talents may seem, They are the reason why Clay, Tsunami, Gloria, and Starflight and Sunny are together. And together, they make a perfect team. Additionally, if this war didn't happen, the Rainwings will be forever stupid. They will be losing more eggs due to the fact that they never counted them. And heck, they might even lose more of their members to kidnappers from the Nightwing Kingdom. That is if Glory wasn't the Glory we know now. That is if the talents didn't exist. And even the talent itself is a good side, because they're the ones who put together 5 Dragonets from 5 tribes. They all share the cave, they cannot escape it, they cannot touch grass, but living together formed a bond. And now all 5 Dragonets from different tribes share a humane standard that is way different from other tribes. So the point is, the talents are what shaped the Dragonets to be what they are right now. True born heroes. And also Jade Mountain Academy wouldn't exist, which is meant to unite all the tribes in Imperial. But like, that's not really a valid statement for now, because I do not know much about it just yet. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that if it weren't for the war, the Dragonets wouldn't try to bring a long-lasting peace. You know, there's one thing we all need in our life, and that is a good mindset. And this book can teach us about that. A good example of a mindset is Sunny's mindset. She's the kindest of the Dragonets, but she received more beating than what she truly deserves. The prophecy that she had been enthusiastic about for her whole Dragonethood was all a lie. Her whole life felt like a lie. She felt like she had no purpose, because the prophecy was probably the only thing she held on to, being a quote-unquote sandwing with no natural weapon such as a tail barb. Despite how useless she felt, she decided to save the entire continent from everlasting war anyway. Because she knew the consequences of not trying to do so. Dragons will die all year round. They'll suffer from eternal violence if not stopped. It was good that she was different. She never liked the idea of seeing dragons die, unlike other dragons. At the end, she did not save a kingdom or two. She saved the entire continent. So when things don't go our way, we must accept it and move on. Because think about what you'll miss if you keep yourself planted in this never-ending story called life. My father have always lectured me about the concept of time whenever I take things for granted. He would usually say that you should make the most out of the time you have. Because when time passes, then that's that. When it's gone, then it's gone. When you're gone, then you're gone. There's no way to turn back time, or to revive yourself and experience life again. Because life is too short to plant yourself in the grounds of sorrow. No, I'm not saying that you have to move on as soon as things go wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't cry about it. That's impossible. It's only possible if we aren't human, or even a living being. So don't hesitate. If you need to be sad, then be sad. Cry, forgive, learn, move on. Let your tears water the seeds of your future happiness. That's a quote by Steve Maraboli. It's always okay to cry, as long as you don't keep yourself planted in that phase, as long as you help yourself up afterwards. Now for people who are doubtful of themselves, don't be, because your life wouldn't be better if you were someone else. Think about Sunny. She has no natural weapons, and she thinks differently from the other dragons. She'd always hated seeing dragons die no matter who they are, which sets her apart from other dragons. She might seem harmless and useless, but do you see what she's capable of, and what she had done? So no matter how useless or how weird you are, you're still a special individual. You still have a purpose in life, not just a purpose, but a destiny that rightfully belongs to you and only you. Who knows? You could end up as a highly respected individual one day, or a hero like Sunny. The point is, everyone will have their own journey that fits them best. It's only up to us to trust the process, no matter how many hurdles we'll find, and keep moving forward. Because after all, the one who decides for our good is our Almighty Lord up there in the heavens. Right, that's pretty much all I want to say about the Brightest Night. Arc 1 has been really chaotic, I must say. Kinda makes me sad that I actually finished it. Because, like, I could never experience it for the first time ever again. Because, like, that's my favorite part about this journey in the Wings of Fire novel series. All the sadness and all the joyous phases I went through were priceless. I hope I'll feel the same when I read Arc 2. Also, a lot of you guys had suggested that I should read Darkstalker, which is, as far as I know, is about a mystical dragon, which sounds already appealing to me because I love listening to old stories and folklore, so I will get onto that in the later videos. Alright, with that being said, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and I wish you all a good day. Peace.